Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Thanks for joining me today. Before we get started, the housekeeping notes, all the products I used and all the dimensions will be listed below. There's a link to my online store. If you'd like to purchase any of these products, there's my email. If you have any questions, send me an email. And finally, we'd like to have you join our Facebook group. And you can find the link there. And I said finally, but it wasn't. Also remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and help me grow in YouTube world. I pulled out an older set, Perched in a Tree, and the Aspen. I always get them mixed up. This is before they started giving them the same names. It is the Aspen tree dies. So it's Perched in the Tree. I've got some of the stamps already out, and the Aspen tree dies. This is the one with the beautiful aspen. We're not using it today, but this is the set we're going to be using. And I will show you what we're making. We are using the One Horse Open Sleigh paper again. Those aspen trees reminded me of this set. And I'm like, let's get the bird out. I want him to do a chickadee, a black cap chickadee. So this is my version. And we made a very simple card again. So let's get the stamping done so we can let our black sit for a few minutes. And make sure I grab, that's the envelope. We don't need it quite yet. There's some scrap paper. And my Memento, which grew legs. And let's stamp the bird and the tree branch so they can sit for just a second. Because we are going to do some coloring on them. Not much. This is not exactly a chickadee, but it looks a lot like one. So I turned him into one. There's good. And this big branch. These are big stamps, are fairly large, so I'm finding it easier just to take the Memento to them. I'll put him right here. And we'll let those sit for a few minutes because Memento, this takes a minute or so. While we're doing that, we have some other stamping to do. So we've got our envelope and we'll go over the card pieces and do a little more stamping. So we have our base. It's 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. It's our envelope, of course. This is the DSP. This piece is 5 1/4 by 4. And this is the side I cut off from over here, which is 3 1/4 by 4 that we will put on the inside of our card. This one I cut the same way as I did in the videos on Monday, where I took 1 inch off the top, 1 inch off the bottom, and 3/4 off one side. So, and then we have our inside, which is 5 1/4 by 4. So let's get those stamped. We are going to actually stamp right on our DSP today. So I'll set this in here as I did before, just as a place marker. And in here, we're going to stamp in Knight of Navy. Move him. Wishing you abundant joy and peace. The reason I set this here is I want to center it in this piece here. Just like that. And then on the front here, down in this corner here, we are going to stamp Let Heaven and Nature Sing. As I said in my last video, if you've never used your stamp, try it on something else before you stamp on DSP, because you don't want it to make a mess. Just like that. And that is our stamping. So we're going to give those just oh, there is one more thing to do. I forgot to stamp the front of the envelope. Why didn't somebody tell me? I'm doing the same as I did on the front of the card. Let Heaven and Nature Sing. So there's the envelope. And let's go ahead and put some of this together while we're waiting for that. I just like my Memento to dry thoroughly before I start coloring. I've had it bleed occasionally, and I don't like when it does that. I'm just going to put this. You can put it on the other side, whatever you wanted. But since it opened this way, it's the first thing they'll see. So I hope everybody went over and checked out all the new product on the online store. Of course, I told you before I was filming these the Saturday before, so I haven't checked, but I will have checked by the time this airs. I didn't burnish this. I'm going to do that now and give it a better crease. And we're going to go ahead and put this on the front. And once again, I am letting the paper do most of the work for me because it is just so beautiful. So let's finish this card up. Got my scrap paper here. Put my glue away. I'm not using a lot of colors with this. I'll zoom this in. And I will tell you the colors, and they'll be listed. So, hang on here. I want to make sure I color in as close to the same way as I did. So we're going to start with light black, not smoky slate. That's dark. I always grab the wrong one. There's light. This is light black. And I'm going to start with the bullet tip. And I'm going to come in just under from about like this little mark indentation here. I'm just going to come in under his eye and draw over to his beak. And then I'm going to come down right across, see this line here? I'm going to use it up to his beak. And then it will come down to this line. And this is the area we're going to color. Now I'm going to stay away from his eyes as best I can. Like that. Now I'm going to switch nibs. Maybe. And I'm going to... This is how I made my black-capped chickadees. We have lots of black-capped. I have nests of black-capped chickadees. The little chicks are now hatching. This is actually the second group of chicks hatching. You can go right over the beak, but we're going over it again in a minute. And I'm just going right along the line here. Yeah, they're starting to fly. They're fun. But I have one box out in my front along the driveway. It's been up there. We've repaired it a couple times when it was empty, but we've had chicks in that box for 30 years. We just clean it out every once in a while. They clean it out. They're very clean. Yeah. It's a pretty good sized box. So I'm going to take the black and just go over the beak so the beak is darker. Okay? I'm not going to do anything with his eye. I'm going to leave it just the way it is because they've got sort of like a dark eye with just a little bit of white around it, and I felt it was easier just to leave it alone. And then I'm going to take light smoky slate and do his wings back here. And I'm just literally brushing. And I'm just going to come right up to here. Because this part is all white on them. At least the males. This is a male. If I was doing a female, we would have a lot of brown out. And we're going to grab the dark crumb cake. And I'm just going to take, and I'm literally not pressing at all. I am literally just doing little circles right here along his feather line. And then I'm going to come in here with some dark smoky slate and just selectively put a few dark branches in right here. Branches, feathers. I'll do the branch in a minute. Just like that. Not much. And, oh, and then the dark smoky slate as well for his feet. And then I'm going to get a color lifter. And I'm just going to get in here. Now, he's a little darker than the other one. I wanted him a little darker. So originally I used light. This one I went to the Smoky. Now I'm going in here and just sort of blending and lifting color. It doesn't lift, it sort of fades it out. And you won't see a big difference for a few minutes. So you just need to be patient and let it sit. I wanted it faded out a little more. A little more right here. And I'm pulling a little bit in this way. You can use the, I used the light crumb cake last time. I went the dark this time. Now this one, we are only using one color, light boho blue, on our branches. And I'm pressing very lightly. Just lightly going over them. If I have a white spot, I don't care. Just like that. And that is all of our coloring. So let me get this camera zoomed back out. And you can start seeing it starting to light up already. It takes a few minutes when you do use the lifter. But I'm just, like I said, I didn't use a lot of colors on this. I kept it simple. So we do need to do some die cutting. So get a little cranky here. Do a little pre-cutting here. That's a nice big hunk to use for later. And do the branch first. Getting all my branches, and if you look through the holes, you can see the tips of the branches where they line up. And I'm putting this on there. I've actually cut a couple of these out because I've had it slide on me, and I don't want the branch to move on me. I know a blue branch looks funny, but we'll come back in and put a little bit more at the tip there, maybe. But anyhow, a blue branch. Everybody should have a blue branch, don't you think? And then we'll get the die for the bird, aka the chickadee. Sure, I've got his feet and everything. Oh, now I hit it. You just watch me move it clear across. Sorry about the scratching, but it sounds like one of the kittens has woke up and discovered I'm not out there with them. Just one moment. We're almost done. It's Miss Shasta again. I don't want her scratching stuff because there is new paint out there. Not on this door yet, but I don't want her scratching. She just had to come see what I'm doing. I'm waiting for the day she jumps up here to really see what I'm doing. So anyhow, we're going to put our bird on here. I think I'll leave the branch the way it was. So we're going to put the branch about there and hook our little bird's legs like that. So let's get some dimensionals. Hello, Shasta. She's on my chair. So I'm using mini ones on the branch. Except this one I've got to move. Where you going, Shasta? You guys can't see her, but I'm getting a tail in my face. Yeah, fireworks. I'm glad the 4th of July is almost over. They do not like fireworks, trust me. We're not supposed to have them in the city, but we do, and they don't like them. So anyhow, this is my little bird, my little chickadee, for a Christmas card. So thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next week. And we may be joined by Shasta. Shasta, you want to come over here? You want to come here? Come here. You want to see these people? Come here. You want to get up here and see the people? No? You don't want to say hi? No, she's sitting on the other desk looking at me like, Mom, go away. So, with that being said, everybody have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.